Okay, good evening, fellow Albertans. My name is David Hanson, and I am very proud to be your candidate for the Alberta Wildrose Party in the upcoming election on May 5th. I was born and raised in Two Hills, and my wife, Donna, and I, and our two children have lived on the farm in northwest of St. Paul for a little over 22 years. I've spent most of my life living in this constituency, and I'm very motivated to keeping our rural communities viable, desirable locations for new families to relocate to, including our own children. Mr. Prentice called this election to get a mandate from Albertans to support his budget. We, as the Wildrose Party, are campaigning against this budget. The budget will see an increase in cost to average family of $2,500. If you watched the leaders' debate, you heard our new leader, Brian Jean, state that we are the only party that will not raise your taxes. That is a fact. The Wildrose Party is the only party that will not raise your taxes. We propose to balance the budget without raising taxes, without threatening jobs of frontline workers in healthcare and education, but by cutting wasteful spending and redistributing funds to local boards, healthcare and school where it can be spent more efficiently. We need to control and reduce wasteful spending. The Wildrose Party has 5 priorities. They are: number 1, patient-centered healthcare and seniors care. We feel it is very important to seniors in Alberta that they be allowed to remain in their home environment for as long as possible. And that when they decide it is in their best interest to move into a facility, they should not have to wait for years on a waiting list for a facility that's over 100 kilometers away from their family and friends, and often does not follow any of the traditions and foods that these people have lived with all of their lives. Our patient-centered healthcare will give more autonomy to local hospitals and local boards, who are best equipped to make decisions that will affect their local communities. We believe this will help save money in all of our health systems. I have a vested interest in our health system. Our daughter is an RN, and our son is entering his last year of med school. I do not want to see cuts to frontline healthcare workers. Priority number 2 is a world-class education. Our students are our most important assets. Keeping decision-making at the local level by ensuring more autonomy is the best way to guarantee that money is being spent wisely. Forcing our local boards to dip into savings accounts that they have managed to put away for special projects in order to cover for provincial mismanagement of school funding is an insult to our elected boards. Local boards will have little choice but to cut support staff in order to meet the requirements of this budget. This is not acceptable. We also need to protect the rights of parents to choose the education style that best follows their beliefs, and make sure there is adequate and fair funding for all systems within our area. Priority number 3 is democracy and accountability at all levels of government. This is a great province with a revenue stream that is the envy of most other jurisdictions. Keeping our system democratic and ensuring all levels of government are transparent and accountable is the best way to get control of wasteful spending. You built this community. You built this province. And if you elect me as your MLA, I will be accountable to you. Priority number 4 is standing up for rural Albertans. Rural Albertans are very concerned about maintaining what property rights we have left. We understand that industry is important to Alberta, but not at the expense of our rights as landowners. We do not want to be ignored. Priority number 5 pertains to our budget. Low taxes, balanced budgets. The Wildrose Party is the only party that has a workable plan to balance the budget within 3 years without raising your taxes. Our plan has been scrutinized by senior economists and is doable. These are the same concerns I hear every day on the doorsteps and in the coffee shops. Albertans are tired of higher taxes and wasteful spending. There is no reason that we in Alberta, who have lived through 15 years of the most prosperous in our province's history, should be looking at a deficit budget and steadily increasing debt. The budget called for increases in taxation in 59 areas. Some have been recently cancelled by Mr. Prentice due to public pressure. Let's keep it up. So much for not blinking. Balancing the budget on the backs of Albertans, again, shows a lack of imagination. Adding more funding to an out-of-control spending machine is not the answer. The budget is a tax and spend budget, not a fiscal conservative budget, and it surprises me coming from a party that refers to itself as conservative. We need representation for our area that is strong, hardworking, and fair. I am that man. On May 5th, vote David Hanson for Wildrose, standing up for Albertans.